And a lot of the mental barriers are broke now too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you come in and it's like, well, shit, compared to what they were before. So yeah, the lifters are stronger, most definitely, but they should be.
That's always the one thing you are assured of, is like the sport just keeps going. You know what I mean? Whether, meet directors come and go kind of deal or whatever, but like there's always going to be something next year. There's not going to be not a year where there's not a big meet. You know what I'm saying? We all end up kind of finding that one every single year, and everyone typically shows up to that.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the lifters have figured it out,
Yeah.
that they're actually the ones in charge. And they determine that, and the lifters are the ones that grow the sport, as you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the more lifters that come in, the stronger everybody's going to get. It's just crazy to think of what's going to be in 15 years.
And that's where do you stand on that argument, in the sense that like obviously that everyone can go to open powerlifting and can look at the numbers and stuff like that, and I mean, the numbers are bigger compared, like as far as like what we're looking at, like division wise or whatever else like that, but like I don't think like necessarily the lifters are like, we're not doing anything that's like we're stronger than the people before us.
I think you are.
You don't think it's necessarily like training styles kind of going into, like, maybe that's what I'm looking at. Like everything has evolved to a point where it's like it's allowing us to like we're being set up with either information on Instagram as far as better training and everything else like that, so we're better able to optimize what we're doing.
Hell yeah. I mean, you don't have to make the mistakes of the 40 years of lifters that came before you.
Yeah.
So, and you still can, but a lot of the really stupid ones you're not going to do.
Right.
A lot of that shit's been phased out. So yeah, you're still going to have high frequency programs, low frequency programs, but what they look like today compared to what they look like, and those are both far ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at what they look like today compared to what they used to look like, 30 years ago, it's not even close to the same.
Yeah.
So it's, the training is advanced, the style has advanced. Lifters are not being stuck into one style of squatting, benching, and deadlifting like used to be for years. Like you have to do, this is what you have to do because this is what everybody says.
Right.
Their styles becoming more
fluid,
built around where their biomechanics are the best. And that can change with gaining weight and stuff like that too, where, some people were being, based upon who they trained with, being pushed to keep squatting narrow instead of wide if they're better suited for wide, or vice versa, stuff like that. So those things help a lot. The other things that help a lot are the overuse. You can go hard. I mean, you volume, but that's not high volume like Dave Passanella high volume.
No, right.
And I'm not trying to fucking challenge you either, right? But that's not even close to what that is.
Bill Kazmaier bench volume stuff. You see those programs, and you're just like, you throw up looking at it.
Exactly. I mean, it's impressive as all hell, but where's the, how much better? That's the other thing. How much better could he have been? And a lot of the mental barriers are broke now too. I mean, you come in and it's like, well, shit, this is what the rec are, compared to what they were before. So yeah, the lifters are stronger, most definitely, but they should be, right? You
guys have laid the foundation.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, every sport should be that way.
Yeah.
Like if a sport ever starts going backwards, then there's a problem.
Right.
That would be indicative of there's not enough people feeding into the sport to make it better. And powerlifting, there's way more. As I said, there was 20,000 when I tried to figure it out. Last time I went on open powerlifting just to try to figure out, competed in the last year, it was like 150,000.
Huge.
And that's that when I have to, don't quote because I'd have to go look to be sure. I don't know if I added, or I think I took out the high school powerlifting.
Oh, dang. So that's
that's going to add, because it added way too many. It actually flooded the fuck out of it. Like, what the hell? Because they're also listed as unlimited for the bench press.
Oh, okay.
Because I was trying to compare like how many unlimited lifters compared to multiply. That was one of the things I was trying to figure out. Then I'm like, what the fuck? Like what? It was not even, it was like ridiculously, fuck, it's a high school, Texas high school powerlifting, they're all slingshot on, whatever they're using.
Yeah.
However, even if they're using it, they're all listed as that, which I don't like that. I like open powerlifting a lot. I'm not going to bitch and complain because it's a nonprofit type of thing. I'd like to be able to filter a little bit better, but I suppose if I wasn't such a lazy I could just download the whole database and do it myself.
And that's what's kind of cool is, I mean, they're constantly updating that. And it's like, they're going through like old, like powerlifting USAs and everything else. And I think even that kind of stuff, just talking about like, you know, the benefit we have, it's like, you know, we're standing on like the shoulders of giants or whatever, you know what I mean? Like past mistakes that we don't have to make now because people have made it before. But you think about like someone like a Don Rideout who had like a 2,300 pound total when people weren't even getting close to 2,000. I mean, and it's like, what would that guy do now?
Well, the communication as well. I mean, it's at bet if you had a Powerlifting USA subscription, you got information about powerlifting once a month.
Yeah.
Based upon the 5 or 8 articles that were in there. And maybe you knew somebody. You know, I was fortunate. I trained in a gym that had powerlifters there, but my base of knowledge was limited to the 5, 6, 10 people that were in that group.
Yeah.
Then you would compete, maybe meet other people. Now a lifter has the ability to DM almost every great lifter and probably get a reply.
I think that's probably it's funny how like, you know, it's like I was telling you earlier, like how like I like messaged my girlfriend online and that's, you know, that's how we started talking, we met and stuff. I feel like more top level guys at that top level will slide into other top level guys DMs like and like, but it's just to pick your brain about something or like, you know, like, hey, you could tweak this on your form or what are you doing? You know, I'll message people. It's like, like I said, I'm talking about the sumo thing. I'll talk to so many people and I'm like, hey man, can you help me out with this? Or can you help me out with that? And it's like, I've never talked to you before. I've never met you before. And they're just like, yeah, sure. And it's like, you have this unlimited database of just like, you just have to kind of just go out and ask, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's, you know.
Well, a lot of people make this big assumption that everybody's DMs are full. Right. And some are. And there's going to be some people that don't check them. And there is that. But it's not the percentage people think.
Yeah.
It really can say with almost certainty there's a lot of top lifters that get like 0 DMs about powerlifting at all. And if one person DM them like, man, my bench, and they were not a dumb fuck, you know, my bench is stalling a little bit, you know, could you look at they would in a fucking second go look at the video and help.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy compared to if I'm coming up as a teenager, I'm trying to get my bench figured out. Fucking, I got to hope the guy in the gym might talking about. Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I got to go to a meet and then maybe somebody in the warm-up room might help. And then 4 years later, you know, maybe somebody actually says, you might want to try to squeeze the bar. If you like this video and want to see more like it, click here.